Okay, well, look, we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, all. My name is Shantae Alvarez Minor, and I serve as the Director of Graduate Recruitment and Student Success in the Erik Jonsson School of Engineering and Computer Science. Thank you so much for joining us today, the start of our virtual graduate showcase for this week. I will be providing the agenda at the end, so that way you can see what the rest of the sessions are that are included, as well as the information that you would need for your application fee waiver for those that are looking to apply for spring 2026 and fall 2026. But to kick us off this morning is our esteemed Dr. Stephanie Adams. And I'm going to give you a little bit of information about Stephanie or Dr. Dean Adams before she gets started. So, Dr. Stephanie G. Adams, she is a thought leader in engineering education, and she is serving as our fifth dean of the Erik Jonsson School of Engineering and Computer Science since 2019. She's also a professor in systems engineering. Dean Adams is a pioneer in the field of engineering education, and in 2003, she received a National Science Foundation Faculty Early Career Development Career Award to research effective teaming and engineering in the classroom. In addition to her teamwork and a team effectiveness, her other areas of research expertise include broadening participation in STEM, so science, technology, engineering, and math, faculty and graduate student development, as well as global education and quality control and management. So please welcome me and join having Stephanie, Dr. Dean Adams join us.
Good morning. Thank you, Shantae. I'm delighted to see so many of you here. Thanks, Brenda, for the applause. Yay. On a Monday morning. But I thought I would just spend a few minutes telling you why I chose to come to UT Dallas and some of the things that I enjoy about being the dean at UT Dallas. And hopefully that will spark your curiosity to A, apply, B, come and visit, and C, end up choosing to join us for your graduate studies, and not necessarily in that order. So whichever order works best for you. So I came to UTD 6 years ago to be the dean. And one of the things that attracted me to UTD is our real spirit of innovation. And so you'll find a campus where innovation just, it comes out of our pores, if you will, particularly in the STEM disciplines. So for those of you who may not be aware, we were founded by the same founders as Texas Instruments. So we started as a graduate research center. So people came to UTD to do graduate research. The first ever graduate of UTD received their PhD in geoscience. So we started as a graduate research center. And that permeates today through the types of research that our faculty are doing. We have wonderful faculty and graduate students and staff that are supporting our research enterprise. We're a very young institution, so we're about 57 years old. When I think about some of the schools that I have studied at or previously worked at, they were schools that were founded in the 1890s. So they're over 100 years old, and we're still pretty young, which means we're very flexible. I noticed that a couple of you have put two different disciplines down that you might be interested in. That's great because a lot of our faculty have multiple appointments. A lot of our faculty are in, I'll use systems engineering, for example. They're faculty in systems engineering, but some of their grad students are from mechanical. Some of their grad students are from electrical. You might be in electrical and you might have electrical engineering background, but your PhD work is in material science. And so we're very collaborative. If you look at what's happening in the federal space around research, we keep talking about convergence research, and most of our faculty live and breathe convergence. So we live at the intersection of things. A couple of years ago, our faculty, our department heads, we worked together to identify our research strengths. And so we identified 5 areas, and these are in alphabetical order, not anything else. Additive manufacturing, energy, health innovations, semiconductors, and transportation, right? So if you think about a matrix organization, they cut across this way. And then we have cross-cutting technologies that come down the other way in artificial intelligence, data imaging, robotics, mechatronics, cybersecurity. So if you think about it, what we're saying is AI cuts across advanced manufacturing, it cuts across energy, it cuts across health. And how do we both create new knowledge in a specific area, but how do we also think about new applications? And so, just based on that, we're a very non-siloed type institution when it comes to our research. Our facilities, because we're so young, our facilities are very new. So the building that my office is in, which also is the building that mechanical engineering is in, that building is less than 7 years old. I know we have some older buildings that we're overhauling and updating, but by and large, our buildings are relatively new. And we've got our own clean room on campus. We have a lot of shared core space, and so you don't have to go many places to find the equipment that you need. If you're in the bio space, we just opened a brand new building in conjunction with UT Southwestern, a new biomedical engineering and science building. And we actually have shuttles that go back and forth from the medical school campus to our main campus. So we are cutting edge. Our faculty are cutting edge. I see a number of them on the call. I'm sure you'll hear from them over the course of the week. But I encourage you to, listen today, ask as many questions as you have today, follow up with us afterwards, but come and visit. The proof is in the pudding. When you come and you see our facilities and you meet our team and our colleagues, you'll find that we stack up against the best of the best. And I hope that you will come and join us for your graduate studies. This is a very important decision that you're making. I'm very pleased with my decision and have not regretted it for a day, other than the fact that I'm now back in Texas and my alma mater is about 3 hours down the road, but they still claim me and I still claim them. So in Texas, it's all good. But have a great time this week in our virtual showcase, and kudos to Shantae and Ben for giving us this opportunity. So I'll stop there, Shantae, and if anybody has any questions, I plan to stay on till about 9:30, and then I'm going to drop off. I've got another meeting.
No worries. Thank you so much, Dean Adams, for taking some time out of your busy schedule, I'm sure, to meet with us this morning. I would like to open up the floor. So if there are any students that would like to unmute and ask a question to Dean Adams before she's got to pop off the call, or if you would like to put your question in the chat, I can see the chat, so I can definitely read it out loud. We'll give it another minute. Anyone have a question that they would like to ask the Dean of the School of Engineering and Computer Science? Oh, that's a great question. There we go. Any plans to extend systems engineering to a PhD level?
Yes, we're working on it now. Yep, Emmanuel, we are absolutely working on that, and not sure how fast we'll get through the governance process in the state of Texas, but it is underway.
Great question. I will add that we actually just started the bachelor's. So I know that this is obviously a graduate showcase, but it's pretty exciting because we just started the bachelor's program this fall. And so, yes, we have the PhD in works, and so super excited about adding more programs. Excellent. Awesome. Any other questions? Any questions that you're curious about as far as UT Dallas? Okay, let's see. Another question here is, when would be a good time to visit campus and get to know the faculties?
I would say the sooner the better, because we want you to get connected to a faculty member that might become your advisor early on in the process, and so the sooner you come and visit with our faculty, I think the better that'll be for you. But we'll take you anytime. And then there's another question: if you wanted to do research at nanoscience and materials, what would be the best? Which department is the best? That's a hard one to answer. I think I'll go with it this way. I think it really depends on which aspect you want to think about, right? So if you're looking more, and I'm going to take a leap here. If I see nanoscience and materials, I'm thinking you might want to design some type of device, perhaps. And so if you're in the device design, you might want to be more on the material side. If you're on the nanoscience testing side of it, you might want to be on the ME side. So I think that's a fine line that I think the faculty would be more equipped to help you answer that question. Um, and then I think also who ends up being your advisor and what's the project, and that's more important than what department you're in. But then again, what's your background? So if you're already a mechanical and you're going to go to material science and you may have to take two extra classes versus if you are the other way around, you may not have to take any extra classes. That may also drive which department you end up taking. So I hope that that helps your answer. Is it common for master students to collaborate with the wider community of Dallas for projects? Is that encouraged? And then is there an open house where students can interact with professors? Okay, so let me take the last one first from Mohammed. Yes, we have a program that Shantae started called PACE, and I'm sure she'll tell you more about PACE. But that's an opportunity for you to come and visit and meet faculty and etc. For Samara's question about master students to collaborate, yes, we do encourage that. We promote it. We have a number of master students who work on projects with local industry um, here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. And then we also, depending upon a faculty member's body of work, they may also have relationships with industry sponsors. We have a number of IUCRCs, which are industry university collaborative research consortiums, where we have companies and faculty and students working together as a way to promote that also. So hopefully that answers those couple of questions. Very good questions, by the way. Thank you for those. Okay, I understand the GRE requirement. I'm going to leave that one to Shantae on the requirements. So Shantae, there's one about GRE requirements and waivers. Those are things that you're more poised to answer than I am.
Yes. So that is actually going to probably be a really great question for CS tomorrow. I don't see a CS representative yet on the call. Yes. So right as of right now, the CS for the GRE is waived for 2020, the 2025 admissions. And the plan is that it will eventually it'll be a removed requirement moving forward for CS, but it is still appearing. I'm real aware of it still appearing on the graduate application. So we can get better clarification tomorrow at our program information session.
So the next question I should take, which is, does the PhD assistantship opportunities depend on faculty or is it centrally funded? That's a tough question to answer today because we're in the midst of changing. So if you'd asked me that last year this time, it's primarily dependent on faculty. We just have a new president, and I have a meeting on Thursday where we're going to be talking about PhD tuition and starting to centrally fund those, but we haven't quite yet gotten the mechanism worked out. So right now we're somewhere in between. But that's good news for you because the fact that we're in between means it hasn't been decided yet. But in the past, it has been primarily dependent on faculty, although we do have some TAs that are open for PhD students coming in the door. But we are rethinking, and we put together a proposal just 2 weeks ago to the new president about central funding for PhD assistantships, and we have a big meeting on Thursday. Okay, let's see the next question.
So it looks like they did a master's in health informatics from UNT, and they would like to join the master's in biomedical science or BMN, biomedical engineering, and convert to a PhD as an international student. So that's a really program specific question. I don't know, Dean Adams, what do you think?
That's a program specific question, and I
Okay.
thought I saw Andy on the call at some point when I was scrolling through. Did he drop off?
Yeah, and Betsy.
And Betsy. So maybe one of them can take that.
Or Betsy and Andy. We can also um yeah, there's Andy. Okay. Oh, Andy, it looks like I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear you.
There we go. Is that any better?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Oh man. Okay. Thank you. Does my question, Masters, University of Texas, help? Oh, absolutely. Yes. Kaja, that won't be an issue at all. Um, so your Masters you did in Health Informatics will definitely you into the Masters here in Bio. It'll also get you into the PhD, so you can go straight from what you do straight into the PhD. That won't be any issues at all. You can convert to the PhD as an international student, no problems at all. Yes.
Thank you, Andy. So it sounds like, just to recap, there are a couple options there. You can, what I heard Andy say is you could probably possibly go directly to a PhD program and not do a second master's, or you could go into the master's program and convert at some other time. Correct? Did I hear that right, Andy?
Correct.
Okay.
100% right.
Okay, so Kaja, the question would be for you to think about is why would you want a second master's if you could go directly into a PhD program? But that might be a question for you to ask some of the faculty and Andy in a session geared more towards bio. Sound fair, Andy?
Perfect. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then Mohammed has a question. Does UTD encourage interdisciplinary research since one of my main focus is combining CS with biomedical and robotics? Absolutely. And so robotics is one of the strategic areas we're hiring in this year. We've had several faculty that have had joint appointments between bio and mechanical. We've had some faculty who do research with CS and bio. Our department head, Dr. Daescu, does some work with CS and health informatics. So yes, we definitely promote interdisciplinary research. Yes. Okay. Uh,
Okay, so it looks like you had so for the question, it looks like that the student earned a grade possibly below the GPA, the of the 3.0, but then did their master's, and then so they're wanting to know if they can apply. So yes, absolutely. So if your master's was over that 3.0, which it should have been, then we look at your most current degree. My question would be is what is the program that the student is looking to apply to? Um, and then that way we could definitely make sure that we're working towards making sure the student's successful.
So Professor Casella put in a point, and yes, that's accurate, but we're also changing. So his his statement was, although we're working on revising PhD funding for TA teaching assistant scenario, the research assistants will continue to be funded by faculty. That is true, but it's that plus. So we're changing, we're having conversations about changing our entire funding model. Right now, research assistants have been funded by faculty. That will continue, but there may be some new things coming. So just please keep that in mind. Okay, so Abdullah, for applicants without published research papers, what aspects of the profile are considered most important for admission to the SWE or CS program? I'm guessing that's software engineering. How much emphasis does the admission committee place on research experience compared to practical software development or industry? Shantae, can you answer that one?
Yeah, so what I will encourage the students is that tomorrow is our program information sessions. And so these really program specific questions would be best asked tomorrow, specifically to the programs where they'll have the graduate coordinators, program directors, faculty, possibly even some graduate students' experiences. Those would be the best questions to ask specifically. So any program specific questions, we'll save those for tomorrow where you'll get an opportunity to speak directly to the program and the faculty members. And you'll get a much more in-depth answer versus us just giving you a sort of overall generalized where you would basically still have to ask these questions again. And so looking at the time, I want to be respectful of Dean Adams' time, make sure that we get her off to her next meeting on time. Is there any other questions specific about the Jonsson School experience or specifically about being at UT Dallas that Dean Adams can help answer before she's got to pop off the call?
Well, let me just say thanks everyone for coming, and I hope that you enjoy your time with us this week, and I hope we get to see you in person soon.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Dean Adams, for joining us this morning. We really appreciate your insight, your experience, your knowledge, and thank you so much for sharing that with our prospective graduate students today. Um, Okay, and I'll keep going on and answer those questions as they pop up. So no, you don't have to register. Every day you'll be sent the link for the next day. So you'll be receiving the link for tomorrow's information session after this one today. So once you've registered and you did your registration, you'll start to receive those links. So no, you don't have to worry about re-registering. We'll be sending out the Zoom links for tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here and we will move along and I'm going to share a little bit more about um, the Erik Jonsson School of Engineering and UT Dallas, where we're located, and give you some more information just about our school. So as you're making your decision, thinking about graduate school, we do hope that you will consider us, and that will be at the top of your list of grad schools, especially as we go on throughout the week and looking at the different opportunities and resources that we have here in the Jonsson School. So just give me 1 second here to share my screen.
Shanti, before you do, can I add a comment here to all the students who are here?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just going to, elaborate on what we talked about funding. Um, Regardless of what situation we end up with, whatever process that we're going to create, PhD students before admission even, and before even thinking about that applying to our school, you need to be in contact with the faculty who do research in the specific area that you're interested in. And the support of the research advisor is critical at admission and also in the future funding. So um, we have observed that fact a lot of students apply to the school, get admitted, and then come up to this issue with the funding. So I think this is generally speaking, is a great idea to do that, regardless of what process we're going to end up with. So if you have not applied or you're still thinking about applying to our school, the great thing, one of the great thing is that our faculty is very responsive. They will talk to you and they will provide feedback about your background and as well as what they are doing. So I really encourage you to do that. Thank you.
And this will be something definitely that you will all want to ask again tomorrow at the program information sessions. When you're meeting with your individual programs, you'll definitely want to reach out, make sure that you're asking about funding and reaching out to advisors. One of our sessions this week will be how to contact an advisor. What are the things you should be putting in those emails? So, and we'll talk a little bit more about that agenda at the end. So let's take a look at the Jonsson School. Um, We have, as Dean Adams said, we definitely encourage you all to come out and visit our campus. We have an absolutely beautiful campus. Um, Although it says UT Dallas and it gives the impression that we're located in Dallas, we're actually not located in Dallas, which is actually a major plus. We are located in Richardson, Texas. It's about 25 minutes north of the DFW area. What makes this so nice is that we're located in a suburb, in a community. So our campus is, we're not smack dab in the middle of like a downtown. So just in a really nice, safe neighborhood. And as you can see, located, we've got trees everywhere. I mean, it's just a really, really beautiful campus with all of our buildings. You can get from one side of campus to the other side of campus within about a 15, 20-minute walk. So very accessible for all of our students who are traveling from out of state, out of country, maybe even out of city. If you're coming to our campus without a vehicle, it's really easy to get around. So really, really beautiful campus. We've got over 1,900 engineering graduate students, and we're ranked number 3 in Texas for our graduate programs. And then we're number 3 for the top US universities. And these were just our recent rankings as well. So just again, to give you an idea, for those that are not familiar with where exactly we're located, we're North Texas. So where that little green heart is, so obviously this is a picture of the US. So we're in the sort of northern part of Texas. And again, we're located in Richardson, Texas, even though it says UT Dallas. We've got 2 major international airports in our DFW area. So DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then just in our area alone, so that DFW area, we've got over 20 Fortune 500 companies. Headquarters are located in the DFW area. So when you're thinking about after grad school and you're looking at job opportunities, this is definitely the right place to be. And then our average temperature. So I always like giving people this because, when you're moving from someplace, maybe from like the northern states or out of country, you need to be aware that in Texas, we've got some pretty warm days. So we're about 20, our average temperature is about 20 Celsius. So about 68 degrees, especially now our mornings are cooling off. And then our highs are going to be 34 Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So Dean Adams mentioned this, but I always like bringing this up as well. We have a history of entrepreneurial spirit. Our university, when you think about what makes UT Dallas unique compared to all the other schools that you have an opportunity to think about where you want to pursue your graduate education. So what makes us unique? We were actually founded by the 3 founders of Texas Instruments. So your TI graphing calculator, they're our founders. Our school, the Erik Jonsson School of Engineering and Computer Science, is actually named after one of our founders. But our founders looked at the DFW area and they saw a need. They realized that there was a need for a grad school that focused purely on research and building their own grad students that could then enter industry and be successful. And so I think that's always a really nice, unique thing about UT Dallas, and that's what really makes us different is that we come from industry. So when you think about the entrepreneurial relationship that we have with industry, right off the bat, we have that with TI. But then not only is it just industry, it's also that research. And we actually started off as the Graduate Research Center of the Southwest. And so again, TI saw the need, and the founders of TI saw the need for research. And so we've always been really tied to industry and research. So when you're thinking about pursuing your graduate degree and you're trying to find the right fit for you, we hope that you will consider UT Dallas and realizing that we have our foundation is in industry and in research. So again, showing you a snapshot, these are our buildings. This is where our students spend the majority of their time. These are our facilities of where you will basically be taking your coursework, where our labs are located. The nice big picture here that you see at the top, this is our engineering and science building west, we call it. That top floor is actually where Dean Adams' office is. Kind of right above that orange floor that you see, or the orange wall, right above there. That's the fourth floor suite and it's called the Dean Suite. So that's where Dean Adams is located. And this is one of our newer buildings on campus. So a little bit more about UT or the Jonsson School. So learning and studying at UT Dallas. So students always would want to know kind of what does that look like as a master's student? What does that look like as a PhD student? And so attending classes for our master's students, you're looking at really a Monday through Saturday, possibly a Monday through Friday. Some of our courses are offered on Saturdays. Most of our courses are offered Monday through Friday and pretty much morning, afternoon, and we've got a few sprinkled here and there depending on the program, evening courses. For our PhD students, their typical schedule looks like a Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you're a PhD student that is a direct admit straight from a bachelor's, you're still taking some coursework. You'll probably have your courses typically during the day. And then after that, you're working on research or you're sprinkling in research depending on when your courses are throughout the day as well. Most of the PhD students I work with are Monday through Friday. Of course, there can be definitely some weekends, and there probably should be some weekends depending on whether or not you're working in the labs, you're working on you're working on lab results, or you're working on deadlines, studying for things, getting ready for your qualifying exams, finishing up your dissertation, things like that. So there'll definitely be some weekends in there. Throughout, you'll have some ebbs and flows throughout your program, both for a master's and a PhD student. We have a ton of study spaces and work spots located on our campus where our students can go to get the resources that they need to be successful in their programs. One of them is our McDermott Library. McDermott's actually also named after one of our founders. It's a great space. I will say it's probably one of the PhD and master's students' favorite spaces. There's lots of resources there in the library, lots of quiet rooms. We have a lot of really great resources also throughout our own building. So when you saw those first pictures, there's lots of study spaces, quiet rooms where you can, they're basically on a first come, first serve. You can close the door. They've got white wall, the dry erase wall spaces as well. So lots of our spaces are also equipped with tech. So plugins, if you need to make sure that you're charging your laptops or phones as you're working. Almost every single one of our spots on campus have tech equipped seating spaces. And then, of course, we also have the academic and career resources. So you have, as a grad student at UT Dallas, not only do you have access to what we offer at the Jonsson School, but you also have access to our Office of Graduate Education. There will be a session later on this week where our Office of Graduate Education will be presenting about all the additional resources they provide for grad students. But we also have the Professional Success Center. The Professional Success Center is where actually my office is located. Oops, sorry about that. It's where my office is located. Within that Professional Success Center, we have the Career Services Center as well, and resources there to help our students with internships. We offer career fairs, specific career fairs to the Jonsson School. So it's for the Jonsson School students. As well as resume writing tips, interview tips, and additional resources to help you be successful. So once you complete your program, we want to make sure that we give you the skill sets you need for employability. Also, at UT Dallas, we want to make sure that we provide additional resources for our graduate students. We know that being a graduate student can be there's going to be ebbs and flows, and so there's going to be possibly times that you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed in your program, and so we want to make sure that we can give you great outlets. So within our campus itself, we have an activities center. We have our student union. Our student union is where we have our tennis table, pool, and it offers the kind of the majority of our food options on campus. We also offer diverse cultural events. What makes UT Dallas unique is that we've got over 144 countries represented. So as you walk through campus, you're going to see a diversity of students on our campus. And then we like to celebrate the diversity of our students by holding cultural events as well. And then we have our rec center where our students can go work out. There's a swimming pool. We've got the little activity rooms where they offer classes for our students. So again, just a great space for you to blow off steam. And then last but definitely not least, we have our gaming and esports center. This has just been a brand new revamped center that opened up on campus this past year. And this here is where our students can go play video games. There's a space for where if you want to just relax and watch other people play video games, that's definitely an option as well. But if you don't have your own gaming system or you're on campus and you just want to go blow off steam for like an hour before you go back to studying and taking classes, this is a great resource for you as well. Okay, so as you're preparing for graduate school, here are a couple things to consider. I am going to encourage you all to make sure that these are questions you write down for your program information sessions tomorrow. And I am going to give you the context of the program, so that way, in the event that you're unable to make the information session tomorrow, you'll at least be able to see reach out to the right people. But you've got to pay attention to the application process and timeline. Realize that we have several different types of degrees and programs. Looking at the parts of those applications, not all of our programs require the GRE. You need to make sure that you're writing strong letters of recommendation and your statement of purpose. And then on Wednesday morning, we'll actually be talking about funding. So what are those additional funding opportunities? We know that cost is an important concern for our students, and we do want to make sure that we provide you with all the options and opportunities for funding that are available. So as we move on, here are the different programs that we offer at the Jonsson School. So we have biomedical engineering, computer science, electrical and computer engineering, materials science and engineering. We have mechanical engineering and systems engineering. And then here are our contacts for our 6 academic programs that we offer on our campus. Right now, but the only program that has just the master's, which was a question that was asked, is our systems. Hopefully within the next couple of years, we're in the process of bringing in a PhD for systems, but right now it's the only program that only has the systems. And and we do have some of our programs that are represented today. So at the end, when I'm done sharing my screen and I can see all of you guys again, I will make sure that I introduce our program context. Oops. Okay, so our agenda for the remainder of this week. All of you that are on the call today, you have already registered. You will receive these Zoom links. You'll receive the one for tomorrow after this session. But you'll be receiving all of these Zoom links. You don't have to re-register in order to receive the Zoom links. Once you've registered once, then you're good. Great. Sorry about that. I'm trying to click the submit. Here we go. Okay, so tomorrow we have at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. we have our program information sessions. At this program information sessions, it will be biomedical engineering, computer science, electrical and computer engineering, mechanical engineering, and systems engineering. We'll be having their program information session. So definitely make sure to come back tomorrow morning so you can meet with the individual programs and ask those questions. They'll be giving you the information specifically about their program, and they'll definitely be able to answer your questions specifically. And then we want you to come back from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. There will be a session on how to find an advisor. This is going to be a really important session for those that are looking to go into the PhD program. This is basically how do you make sure that when you are sending those emails to advisors that you're getting a response back. What is it that you should be including in the emails? What are the things that you should not be including? When you're doing your research ahead of time and you're looking at the advisors, what are the things that you should be paying attention to? So it's going to be a great session. You won't want to miss that. That's going to be delivered by our interim Associate Dean for Undergraduate Education. So you'll definitely want to come. Wednesday morning is how to fund your graduate education. That session will include all the internal and external funding opportunities that are available for our students, both master's and PhD. You definitely don't want to miss that. We have just been granted a new, I just found out while I was out traveling this past weekend that we have our new funding for master students. Super exciting. So you'll definitely want to come look and hear about that. And then at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Wednesday will be the materials science information session. So those that are interested in the master's or PhD in materials science, you'll definitely want to come back at 10 a.m. for that session. On Thursday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. is our international students session. So if you're an international student and you need to learn and you want to learn more about our resources and opportunities, what are the things that you need to make sure that you have ready in order to successfully begin your graduate program here at UT Dallas. You'll definitely want to make sure that you come to that session in the morning. Thursday also at 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. is our Office of Graduate Education. This is the office that will provide all the information about the resources that they provide our graduate students. You definitely don't want to miss that. They do a lot of sessions on preparing you for dissertation. They also have funding opportunity as well for travel, so you'll want to make sure you come and listen to that one. And then Friday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. will be the graduate student panel. At this session, you'll get to hear from current graduate students, both master's and PhD, and learn about their experience as being a graduate student, not only at UT Dallas, but also within the Erik Jonsson School. We want you to follow us on social media. So definitely if you've got Instagram or Twitter or X, I guess now it's called, LinkedIn, YouTube, all of our videos for this week will be posted on our new YouTube channel. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you go there. If you miss any session this week, all of it will be posted after the fact on our YouTube channel. So definitely go there to learn what you've missed out on this past week. We want to make sure that we give that you have a resource. If there's something that you want to rewatch, you can definitely go there and rewatch those information sessions as well. So definitely follow us on social media. On our social media channels, we are going to be consistently providing information about funding opportunities, information sessions we're hosting. Also on our social media channels, we'll be doing student spotlights. So if you want to learn more about grad students or connect with grad students, this is a great opportunity. On all the social media channels, I have about 10 graduate student ambassadors that are checking and answering students' questions. So this is also a great place for you to get the student experience directly from the Jonsson School Graduate Student Ambassadors. Okay, last but definitely not least, Probably what a lot of you are interested in is our Jonsson School application fee waiver. So again, we thank you so much for registering for the virtual graduate session this week. Here is our QR code. This will be posted at the end of every session. So if you've missed it, don't worry, it'll be there. If you're unable to scan it now, again, don't worry, just rewatch one of our sessions, rewind all the way to the very end, and that QR code will be available. A couple things to note is that this application fee waiver is only valid for spring 2026, summer 2026, and fall 2026. So essentially this next year. So if you're looking, if you're a student, and we thank you so much for coming, but you're looking at applying after that, don't worry. I would encourage you to attend next year's. Don't complete it because you won't be able to save it. It is just for this next application cycle. This only applies to the standard $75 application fee. So you're going to want to make sure that you complete your application on time. This will not cover any late application fees. So please make sure that you get your application submitted on time. This will only pay for the standard application fee. Also, this is only exclusive to the Jonsson School graduate programs. You cannot be applying to another school and request this fee waiver. So this is only for the Jonsson School. In addition, you do need to make sure that you complete this form no later than Friday and have it submitted no later than Friday, October 24th. The deadline has already been set on the form, so no late forms will be accepted. So please make sure that if you are an applicant looking to apply this year, and that you complete the form and that you send it in no later than Friday, October 24th. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we've got about 10 minutes. So I will open it up for questions, but before I do want to make sure that I introduce our team that's represented today on the call to all of you. So as you get ready to meet with our program information sessions tomorrow or throughout the week, or possibly throughout the rest of your graduate journey, you'll know who the people are that you should be reaching out to. So I'm just going to start with the ones that I can see on my screen right now. So first we have Brenda Rains. Brenda is our program coordinator for systems engineering. So those that are interested in systems engineering, you will be meeting lots with Brenda, and you'll, I'm sure, have a great experience. Next on my screen, I can see is Megan Garner. Megan is with mechanical engineering. And I apologize, you guys, if I'm getting your titles wrong, but she's also helps with our graduate students, making sure that you have all of the information that you need to be successful in the mechanical engineering. Next on my screen, I can see we have Dr. Chadwin Young, and he is with material science. He's a faculty member with material science and definitely the guru, knows everything. So definitely make sure that for those of you that are interested in material science, you reach out to Dr. Young. Next on my screen, I can see is we have Dr. Benjamin Carrion Schaefer. He is our assistant dean for graduate student success, as well as a faculty member in electrical and, are you just electrical engineering or computer engineering? He's in the Department of ECE, but I think he's electrical. So Dr. Schaefer is a great resource on campus for our graduate students because he responds to a form. So if you have any concerns or you need to speak to somebody about your graduate student experience, definitely a great resource for students. He supports all of our grad students within the Jonsson School. And then the next I can see on my screen is Andrew Rhodes, which you guys got a chance to hear from earlier today. He is in the biomedical engineering program, and he helps our graduate students and assures that they are successful throughout their graduate journey in BMIN. And then we have Dr. Cameron Kisala. You heard from him earlier today, talked about the funding opportunities, really making sure that you are developing those relationships with your advisors ahead of time. And he helps all of our graduate students in electrical and computer engineering. So he's your point of contact for those that are interested in the program, answering additional questions and making sure that you are successful within ECE. And then I'm just going to quickly scan. We have Dr. Betsy Willis on the call as well, and she is also with biomedical engineering and a great resource for our graduate students as they're looking to pursue their graduate degree in biomedical engineering. So I think that's it. If I missed anyone, just send me a direct message. But these are all great resources. We have a really exceptional team of graduate program coordinators, graduate directors, associates of graduate education that are here to help support all of our prospective graduate students interested in pursuing our degrees. We want to make sure that not only do we provide you all the information that you need in order to start your graduate journey at the Erik Jonsson School, but also that you are successful throughout your graduate journey. And so really look at all of the people that you can see their screens, as well as the information that I posted. Great resources for you while you are pursuing your graduate program here at the Jonsson School. So now we've got about 5 minutes, and I will open the floor up for questions before we end our session for today. Okay, oops. For systems, is the GRE or GMAT required for this application cycle? No, it is not. So I have a question here, and looks like it was only sent to me, but it says it's just what are the residency requirements for in-state tuition? And the student wrote, I've been employed and I have a lease for the past 13 months. So yes, I believe for in-state residency, it's 12 months, and there are some documentation that's required to make sure that you meet the requirements from our registrar's office. And I'm just going to I'm gonna just make sure that I pop in the chat here, my contact information. So definitely make sure that if you reach out to me, I will send you the residency application. Oh, excellent. Yeah, so at GMIS, which I was there, so thanks for coming. I heard that UT Dallas was a smart and GEM school, which we are. And are those programs, do we need to apply through UT Dallas or those outside scholarships? They are outside scholarships. Wednesday morning, I will be going over extensively the SMART and GEM fellowships, as well as additional other ones. But yes, those are external scholarship opportunities that we're representative for. So on Wednesday, I'll be going over those with the links of how to apply. If you want the application fee waiver, you need to complete that form that I posted the QR code for. And by completing that form, I'll go through and check the form. There's a little bit of work that's involved to get this application fee waiver. It's not just attending. So once you complete that, then I will review those. And then you will be receiving an email from me letting you know if you have completed the form correctly and that you are in fact getting your application fee waived. I should also note that if there's anyone on the call who has already completed the application, the waiver does not do refunds. I can't remember if I said that or not. So I just want to make sure I state that again, that we are not refunding anyone's application fee. This is for those that have not yet applied. If we speak with a professor and their agreement might come after the application deadline, would it be possible to submit a late application if they agree to supervise? You can always submit a late application. Just be aware that there is a late application fee assessed. I would also be really careful to make sure that if it's, I don't know if this is a master's or PhD, I'm assuming PhD, you've got to make sure that the application is still open for the PhD. But yes, I mean, you could, there's just be aware that there is a late fee. Very, very rarely, very rarely will the department pick up that late fee. They've got to be, so you've got to be aware that there's going to be a financial cost for you if you apply late. Yes. So remember, you guys, if you joined late, no worries. This session is recorded and it will be posted on our YouTube channel. So you will be able to rewatch it after the fact and get the QR code for the application fee waiver. Yes. So if you've applied and you haven't paid the fee yet, then yes, this would still apply to you. It's pretty much as long as you have not paid. You cannot have paid and then we're not doing the refunds. We're not refunding any student. I'm gonna just look over here quickly to the side and I'm gonna see if I can just get the handle really fast for our YouTube.
Shante, can I add a point?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
For students, especially PhD students who are looking for advisors and they haven't, because the question was, what if the advisor responds after deadlines or whatever? Please understand, if you get admitted to a PhD program and you don't have not identified an advisor, I can act as an advisor until you find an advisor. So you should not stop the process because the advisor is late in responding to your request or to a agreement to supervise you. So please process, go ahead with the application and get all the material in, and then in case the advisor doesn't respond in time, you are taken care of. It's not that you will not be without an advisor. Okay?
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great point. So I just posted the YouTube channel. Again, this obviously has to download for me first, and then I've got to get it uploaded onto the YouTube channel. So I would say by end of business day for me, this will be posted. As far as the application number, you have to start an application. So if you are in fact interested in coming to UT Dallas, you have to start the application. So you're not going to get a waiver without an application being started. That's what the application number is. So once you start the application, and once it's saved, you can basically start it with your name and it'll be saved and you'll have an application number that you can go back to finish. All right, everybody, we are 2 minutes over, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this session. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are grateful that you were, or it could be possibly evening for some of you, but thank you so much for taking time out of your day to meet with us. We're super excited to provide you a wealth of knowledge the remainder of this week. So again, please continue to join us over the next 4 days, learn a little bit more about our programs, how to reach an advisor, learn about funding opportunities, hear from graduate students, learn about the international admissions process. There's so much more. So we look forward to seeing you for the rest of the week. I popped my information into the chat, so if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me. And you all have a great rest of your morning. Bye.